Hello people, Jonny Nelson here. Who else would have a picture of himself on the wall? So I've been asked to give you guys some hints and tips for those of you looking to enter the National Funny Award and give you some insights into how I turned being funny or attempting to be funny into an actual career. Now I'm a TV presenter as opposed to a stand-up comedian. But I've always dipped in and out of comedy, and it's kind of where I started, and it stood me in pretty good stead. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have a career in TV if it wasn't for that, and possibly being Northern. So I might as well just tell you how I kind of got going with it. It started for me when I was 16 or 17. I was at sixth form college, and I was asked to host a quiz night for everyone in the year. And I was pretty good speaking off the cuff and getting in front of people and on stage, but I thought for this, I should actually put a little bit of time in and some planning, and I wanted to make people laugh. So I stood up there by this lectern, and I brought this big, heavy, hardback joke book with me. And then in between rounds, when people were tallying up scores, I would open this joke book, find a joke I found funny, and then just recite it to them as if it was my own. And it was the first time I saw like the power of comedy, or the power of a joke holding people's attention in a room. And it was probably the first time I realised that's what I wanted to do for a living in some way, whether it's in television, whether it's in radio, whether it was in comedy. And I kind of went from there. I went to university, and later on I put my hat in the ring to host any sort of event going, like award ceremonies and things, because for me it gave me a reason to be there, to sort of hide behind. So I would go up on stage and telling jokes and trying to make people laugh, but I thought, if they don't find me funny, I'm not here to be a comedian, I'm here to hand out awards. And that's what I hid behind. But doing that helped me kind of grow in confidence and work out what works for a large room and what people find funny and what people like to see from me. And that helped me grow to a point really where I was able to go on stage and just try and be funny. And then from there, like working in TV and working in presenting, I just got those opportunities over and over and over again. And when people didn't find it funny, it was a learning curve, because most of comedy is people not laughing at you. It's just trying to hit those moments, those marks when they do. The kind of advice, what advice can I give you guys, really? I think commitment is the biggest part of being funny, especially if it's on stage or even making videos. If you're gonna make a video and no one's gonna watch it, or you're gonna go on stage and tell a joke and no one's gonna laugh, but it's the people that get on stage a week later and 2 weeks later and a month later and year on year, they're the people that actually get to the point where they have crowds in the palm of the hand, because that's how they learn their craft. What are the tips? Be self-deprecating. Be self-aware. You don't have to play yourself down all the time, but be aware of what your shortcomings are, because usually that's where the basis of humour is. And you can take the mick out of certain situations or even certain people, and they will allow that if they know that you don't actually feel you're above them in some way, and you see the flaws in yourself first, because all flaws in the world are a great source of humour. And finally, maybe just be fearless. And that doesn't necessarily just mean have no fear. I mean, technically the definition of the word fearless probably does mean have no fear, but it's about controlling that fear. You can be scared and nervous to get on stage and talk in front of a large crowd, but if you force yourself to do it anyway, and whether it goes well or goes badly, you still manage to do it again and again and again. That's how you become good at comedy. That's how you become good at anything, at communicating more than anything. People wanna see an authentic voice as well. People want to see something that comes from you. Like, comedy is about finding your own voice. There's no point watching a comedian or watching someone you find funny on the internet and thinking, I'm just going to copy that and do exactly what they do, because that's just reciting something. You might as well get on stage like I did the first time round and just read from a book. I would say draw inspiration from the people around you and how they interact with you when you're being funny. So if you're with your mum and dad and they laugh at something you do, think about what you did to make them laugh, and which part of that thing you said, that the story you told, was the funniest part, was the thing that made them laugh, and then play up to that, work on that. Anyhow, I think I spoke for quite long enough. I'm looking forward to seeing what entries you guys put in, and maybe in 20 years' time, you too can be making videos in your basement during a global pandemic. It's good to have something to aspire to. Anyway, guys, take it easy. It's been a pleasure, and good luck.